Hey everybody, welcome back to the Henry Disc Golf channel. Today we are coming at you with an in the bag. So let's see what's in my bag.
Oh, that's high.
Oh! Good.
Good.
Good putt.
Oh, got it through the small gap. That's beautiful. Drop, 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 drop.
First things first, we are going to go ahead and start with the bag itself. This bag is an Upper Park Disc Golf Rebel bag. It has been great. I've had it for a little over a year now. The only issue that I found with it is for some reason it tore right here with this pocket that has a little bit of a flexy elastic here. Only thing I've ever put in it is my towels, and for some reason it tore here. Kind of hasn't fully torn on the other side yet, but definitely has some wear and tear there for some reason. Don't really know why, but let's get to what you guys want to see, which is the discs I throw. Currently, I am putting with DX Glow, Proto Glow Aviars. In the past, I was putting with the Tour Series or the KC Pro Plastic Aviar putting approaches, but I switched to these towards the end of the season because I was getting some inconsistencies with the grip that I was wanting on the putters. They were a little bit too slick. With the Glow Plastic, it has a little bit more grip, so I've been getting a lot more consistency out of my release point with these, and also maybe because they have just a little bit more grip, they may be going in the basket a little bit more frequently. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to go ahead and move to my throwing putters. I have 4 throwing putters that I use, so I will throw these ones off the tee. I do not throw my putting putters. I putt with my putting putters, so I use these as my throwing putters. I have 4 of them. We're going to start off with the most overstable. So the most overstable throwing putter I have is the Hooligan Discs Cash. Hooligan Discs, Hooligan, I'm not too sure. But this is the Cash. This is a Lone Star made cache instead of the newer caches are the Gateway made ones. This one here is in the Alpha Flex plastic. It's super nice and flexy. I like throwing this one on a little bit of anhyzer and just having it work its way out. This is exactly what I was looking for an overstable putter. It flies, for me, like a zone, kind of a little bit less stable than a zone, but like a zone, and just doesn't go as far, which is exactly what I was looking for in an overstable putter. And this one is awesome. It has 2 aces on it from last year. This thing has been sweet since it's been in the bag. Plus, it's got a Henry Disc Golf die on it by my buddy Patrick. Any of the discs that are in my bag that are dyed, it was because of Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. All right, so we're going to go to my next throwing putters. I have 2 Lunas. I have a Z Luna and a metallic Z Luna. The metallic Z Luna is the 2021 Tour Series Luna. This one is my go-to Luna. It has 3 aces on it. It is super sick. For me, I just throw it on a little bit of high so it'll pop up to flat and ride, have a consistent little fade at the end of it. This is my neutral throwing putter. Both of these throw almost identical. I think I'm almost throwing this pink one just a little bit more because of how bright it is. Makes it a little bit easier to find at times, but both of them are awesome. They are not overstable, as the flight numbers would say. Lunas, for me, are a super straight putter. Which leads me to my understable putter of choice. My understable putter of choice is this here Star Aviar. This has been in my bag for many, many years. I think it has to be getting close to 10 years, if not longer than that, in my bag. Well, I should say in and out of my bag. This here is my understable putter of choice. If I want something to turn over and keep going all the way to the ground, this is it. The Lunas will tend to flatten out a little bit at the end of their flight. This thing here will hold it all the way to the ground. Definitely don't want to power up on that like I do with those Lunas, but definitely a great disc. This one has 4 aces on it over the years. It is going to continue being in my bag because it is by far one of my favorite throwing putters. Plus, I have an obsession, we'll say obsession, with throwing, usually in premium plastic, the same putters I putt with. So this does fill that itch for me, but it also has been in my bag even when I haven't been throwing the Aviar as my throwing putter. That's just how good this disc is for me. I definitely enjoy it quite a bit, which is going to take us to our next set of discs, which is going to kind of be that overstable approach slot, but in reality, probably not as overstable anymore. So here we have a Jawbreaker plastic zone. This thing has been in my bag for the last couple of years. I have been beating the junk out of it. It is awesome. It's nice and warpy and lumpy, and this thing I can put out on hyzer. If I throw it hard enough, I can put it out on hyzer and have it flip all the way over and have just a little bit of comeback. Or if I throw it a little bit nicer, it'll wind up throwing straight, a little bit of turn, and then has a pretty consistent fade back still with it. This is a great disc. I may or may not throw it as much as I should, but that's kind of because of the next disc that I have in the bag, which is the Zone SS. This is a first run Zone SS. I like this disc a lot. I do consider this disc not necessarily an approach disc for me, but more of a understable mid-range, just because it flies that far. Lower profile than a regular Zone, but definitely still super nice. I can put it on hyzer, have it pop up the flat, have it even ride over a little bit with a nice little bit of fade at the end of its flight. I would say that this is a Luna stability for me, but just goes a lot farther. I would definitely consider this my understable mid-range. It is very good. The 2 discs I have for my quote-unquote overstable approach discs are my zones. So we have this zone here. It is a Z zone. It is a lightweight Z zone. I believe it's only 168 grams. This one was dyed by my buddy Patrick again with the Henry Disc Golf H's and some baskets. This one is awesome. I like it possibly just a little bit more backhand when I'm throwing a zone. Still a zone. Still great stability. I think sidearms I tend to pull it just a little bit because of the lightweightness of it. Lightweightness. I don't know if that's actually a word, but just because it's a little bit lighter weight, I think I pull it a little bit more, which brings this zone into play. This here is a Yuli Shield zone that I picked up on Facebook earlier this year, really just towards the end of the season. This thing is basically brand new. I've only thrown it a handful of times. Sidearm, it is awesome. Backhand, it is awesome. It is a zone. I like to keep a newer zone in the bag, and then I'm trying to work on beating up another zone, but because that one is also lightweight, it does make it easier to throw that one at times. But this would be a workhorse zone, and I think it will be as I continue throwing it. Next up, we have mid-ranges. So here we have 3 matrices, matrix I maybe. So here is an electron matrix. This is my most understable matrix. I wouldn't consider it an understable mid-range. It is just a stable mid-range. I throw it flat and hard. It'll have a little bit of turn, a little bit of fade, and it goes pretty good. This one's getting a little lumpy. I've definitely beaten it up over time, but this is a great mid. Definitely like throwing it for controlled shots in the woods. This here is kind of my workhorse mid. This is my orange matrix. It is neutron plastic. It is a lightweight matrix. It's only 165 grams. It is essentially my go-to. Besides, if it gets a bit too windy, then this one can get a little bit squirrely in the wind. But overall, throw it out flat, throw it hard. It goes straight for a super long time and then has nice fade. I don't really get a ton of turn out of this thing, but it's not like super beefy. My most overstable mid in the bag is this proton matrix. The proton matrix for me, I can throw it out hard and flat. It's going to go for a while and it's just going to want to dump off. If I'm throwing into headwinds, this is the one that I will turn to for the headwind shots. Overall, super consistent. The thing that I like to say about the matrix, it is a lower profile disc like a buzz. But it has the stability of a Rock 3, which I very much enjoyed throwing from Enigma. But the thing is the bead always gave me problems. But the Rock had the stability I wanted. The Buzz had the hand feel that I wanted. And this is both, the best of both worlds, in my opinion. The Buzz was just a little bit too straight than the Rock, but this is the stability of the Rock, which is what I was always looking for in a mid-range, but without a bead. Definitely enjoyed that. Someone would be like, well, why didn't you get a Shark? Because Sharks never came in premium plastic. They did, but I could never find them very easy, and it just never became a disc that I actually tried, which the Shark is a non-beaded Rock. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So here we have our Fairway drivers. In reality, I only carry 3 molds of Fairway drivers, but I consider one of those molds more or less a utility disc, which we will get to. But we have technically 2 different molds, both made by Enigma. We have, well, both made by Enigma. One's technically not Enigma. So here we have a Champion Eagle. This is kind of that luster Champion plastic Eagle. Definitely great. This one's really stiff. Let's go here for you. Really, well, there it didn't seem so stiff. This is a stiffer plastic for the Champion plastic. And this one here is my overstable Fairway driver. Other than one that we'll get to a little bit later, which is, again, kind of considered for me more of a utility disc. But this is my overstable Fairway driver. If I'm throwing into a decent headwind, something like that, this is usually the one that I'm going to. The next step down from that is this Vela. This is a Millennium Discs Vela. It is a 170 gram one. I had a beat up Eagle that I really liked throwing that would pop up a little bit to flat, go for a long time, and then dump. This is basically the replacement for that. This Eagle's just a bit too overstable for that, but this Vela kind of fits into that slot. It's pretty good. Still got great stability on it. This Vela, on the other hand, though, is a lightweight Vela. It's a 166 gram Vela. I threw this, I feel like, only a handful of times, and then it got really flippy on me pretty quick. So this one almost competes with some Hawkeyes that I have in the bag in terms of stability. But this one probably won't be in the bag all season, as I have some discs that I'm trying to get to Patrick to dye. Once he dyes those discs and I get them back, I'm pretty sure this one's going to get replaced. But this one's kind of nice. If you don't have to throw it too hard, you can have it pop up to flat, from hyzer to flat, have it go for a long while, and then has a decent little fade on it. I can get this thing to start on hyzer, flip up, turn for quite a bit, and then just kind of settle in its flight. The Vela is a great disc. Someone described it as Calvin Heimberg lost some of his Eagles that were a little bit more on the flippy side, and this is what Millennium did for him to kind of replace those Eagles. But it literally feels like an eagle in the hand, looks like an eagle, flies pretty close to an eagle. They are just a bit more understable than a standard Champion Eagle or Star Eagle for that matter. The other Fairway mold that I use is the Hawkeye. I carry 4 Hawkeyes in my bag. So I have the most understable Hawkeye was this Prairie Open Hawkeye. This Hawkeye is started on hyzer, pop it up to flat, maybe even have it ride over and it just kind of settles straight. Sometimes you can get some fade on it as well, depending how hard you throw it. But this is essentially my go-to Hawkeye in terms of wood shots. If there's something that is just a straight tunnel for 400 feet, this is the disc that I'm usually going to grab and try to throw that 400 feet. I have a Hot Guy Hawkeye. So this is a Hawkeye stamped Hawkeye that I had Patrick do up for me. The reason why it is a Hot Guy is because of EJ, my little buddy EJ. He has one that matches this one. It's all black in terms of the die instead of having some color for the Hot Guy. Me and Patrick wanted to try something different with this one. But this is pretty much a standard champion Hawkeye. Pretty domey, has a nice heartbeat. This one I actually haven't thrown a bunch yet. We'll see throughout the year if this does stick in the bag. I'm hoping when I can hopefully get one of my Halo Hawkeyes back, see if I can beat one up to kind of shift that one, and then just mainly go with the one champion and then have 3 Halo Hawkeyes in the bag. When we're talking about Hawkeyes, this is basically a brand new Halo Hawkeye. It is closer to the stability of the Vela and the Eagle when they're brand new, but I was trying to beat one of them in. It was another pink one, very similar to this one, a little bit brighter in the pink in the center. But I recently just threw it into the pond at my local disc golf course, and unfortunately I'm going to have to wait until it warms up so then I can go in after it. It was floating and we couldn't get to it before it hit the ice and then fell down into the water. But this one is essentially my backup to that Hawkeye. And then this one I still have not thrown. This is said it was used. It looks basically brand new to me. Halo Hawkeye that I got off of Facebook recently. Wiped the stamp on it. Actually has a little bit of pink in it, which I super dig. I love pink. But this is a blue Halo Hawkeye. I need to see how this one flies. But this is going to probably be in the bag when I get the other one back. Hopefully I get the other one back. And we're going to see how this one flies to see if it can essentially replace the pink one that I was throwing. So, yeah. Last but not least, in terms of fairway drivers, which I consider this one more of a utility disc, I have a Nate Sexton Firebird. I don't remember which year this one is. I think my buddy Patrick said this was like a 2018, maybe a 2017 one. But this is one that was in his bag for quite a long time. He beat it up pretty good. I said something about a Firebird, and he's like, I got you. Let me hook you up. So he gave me this one. This one, he did a 50-50 die on it. It was one of his early dies, so it doesn't look the greatest, but the thing flies great for me. I use it on sidearms. I use it on something that I need to skip left backhand. This is legitimately a utility driver for me. If the wind is too bad, this is the disc I go to in terms of stability and everything. It still has a decent amount of bite to it, but it is not a fire cow. It is a fire chicken. Fire chicken. When I throw this thing, usually if it's on video, I'll say, fire chicken! And then my brother will usually go, but that's beside the point. This is a great Firebird. Definitely enjoy it. We're getting close to the end here. We have 2 destroyers in the bag. This is a very lightweight Halo destroyer. I got it after a tournament. It's a 158 gram disc. I thought that it would be cool to throw it in the bag and use it, but every time I throw it, because it is so light, I just yank it wide, which is annoying because I want to throw this thing because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful disc. I want to throw it so bad, but it's going to probably come out of the bag for another disc that I'll show you here in a minute. but it is pretty decent, pretty close to my Enigmas in terms of stability, but I just pull it a little bit too much. But this here is the Beefcake Destroyer for me. This here is a Champion Destroyer. It is a 168 gram Champion Destroyer, and for me, this one's just a beefcake. Every Champion Destroyer I've ever thrown over the years has just been beefy. You know, this is the wind fighter. If the wind is really high, really good headwind, you know, I'm going to throw this instead of my Enigmas, just because this has the stability to hold up to those winds. The disc that will replace the Pink Destroyer is this disc. This is a Lux Vapor Enigma. It is brand spanking new. I am going to send this to Patrick, and he is going to put a die on it, and that is going to be what replaces that Destroyer in the bag. Just figured I would say something about it now, since I'm doing the in the bag. The other two discs that I have in the bag, and the final two discs that are in here, are the Enigmas. My main go-to driver is the Enigma by Discmania, which is no longer being made. Apparently, the mold has been renamed to the DD, I think it's the DD2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the DD2. They changed the flight numbers though, so I really don't know if it's actually that disc or not, but this is the Enigma. I have my main driver, which is the Neo Enigma. This one I can put out on a little bit of hyzer. It'll pop up to flat, ride for a long time, and then has a nice finish to it. But it's a forward fade versus the Destroyers, which hook up really hard and kind of don't give me a forward fade. They start coming back if they're thrown a little bit too high. And then I have the pink Lux Vapor Enigma. This one is super close to this one. Maybe just has a touch more stability to it. But I just really like the grip and the feel of this disc. The neoplastic isn't bad, but I've always liked like star plastic kind of in drivers sometimes, and that's basically what the Lux Vapor Enigma is for me. These two are my two farthest flying discs in my bag. They will go for a long time, and they are super awesome. A couple other things that I have in the bag. I have glow light. I have an extra mini. I have a rangefinder for when I'm doing review videos. And sometimes if you just need to know what the distance is. In the other pocket over here, I'm pretty sure I have another flashlight. Yep. What is that? Oh, bug spray. Got a can of bug spray. I have another UV flashlight for those glow rounds. I have bag tags from the family. Some trash, apparently. I'm going to throw that away once I'm done. And then I also have stickers that I hand out to people when I meet them on the disc golf course to promote the YouTube channel. That is it. Oh, and then I have a knee pad here for when I'm playing rounds. I need to set that down and use it to put my knee on instead of putting it on the ground, which can be hard and ouchy sometimes. So we will say that. That was my 2026 in the bag. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I would like to be. It would be cool. Not too sure if I want a manufacturer sponsorship, just because I throw multiple different brands. But I think it would definitely be fun to have some form of a local sponsorship, like the Trifox or maybe Pandemonium. They're in Milwaukee, which is a little bit farther away from me. So we will see. Who knows? It's one of those things. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If it was not for you, excuse me. If it was not for you guys, I would not be doing this. Well, you know what? Maybe I would be doing this, but you guys definitely make it a lot better. I very much enjoy interacting with you guys on this platform and other platforms that I use. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything you guys would like to see us do as a group. Check out Upper Park Disc Golf. It is in the link in the description below. Anything you buy from them does support us as a YouTube channel. Once again, have a great day. Make it good for somebody else. We will see you guys next time. Peace.